So as you might know if you've seen my videos, I have the rooftop tent, the CVT rooftop tent, which I absolutely love. And it took me a while to, really get this rig going because I needed to get a few parts to make this whole system work. So I wanted to do a review of the combination of my bed rack and my tonneau cover. So the rack I have is the Yakima Overhaul HD truck bed rack, and that is paired with the Retrax MX Pro tonneau cover. And I'm not really a big truck guy, like I don't really know a lot about cars and trucks, and I don't have a lot of experience dealing with other companies, but I really think that this combination is really, really good for the weekend warriors for a lot of reasons. And I think there is definitely a lot of pros and cons with this combination, but I really, really like this system. And it took me about 4 months to get this all together because this was on back order and this other part was on back order. But I'm doing a review because I think the combination of this is really, really good for the weekend warrior. And I'm a weekend warrior camper, so I wanted to give you my thoughts on this setup, this slightly expensive setup, and hopefully this review will help you decide if either or of these or the combination is right for you. So to give you an idea of what each of these are, the Retrax Pro MX is a sliding aluminum tonneau cover, and it can be locked, which is really good. So I'm just going to show you what it looks like when you unlock it. So right over here in the corner, if you can't see, is a spot for a key, and they give you 2 keys. Unlock it, push a button. Nope, I already had it locked. Here we go, push button, and it just, bam, and it slides all the way back. And when you're done, and when you want to close it, you push it all the way to the end, close this, button clicks, lock it, we're good to go. And the Yakima Overhaul HD truck bed bars, as you can tell, are crossbars for your truck bed. I can't show you right now because everything is all set up, but right here there are screws that go into the top of each crossbar, and they give you a wrench, and the height is actually adjustable, which is actually really nice. It's kind of hard to do yourself. You really need somebody to help you, but this does go up higher, which is really nice, and they're really strong. So now I'm going to talk to you about the pros and cons of each of these. Alright, so we're going to start with the pros. First pro, I really like the locking device on this. There's a little flap right here that covers the keyhole, and that is definitely waterproof, which is really nice. Don't think you're going to rust. I really like the 2 keys that they give you right here. It's very easy to just unlock this, press the button, and slide it back. It's very easy, no pain at all. It's just when I have to close it, I have to open the bed, close the back, bam, good to go. Pro number 2, actually I'm going to combine these next 2. Looks and strength, there's obviously no doubt. The build quality is really, really good. I could definitely stand on top of this tonneau cover if I wanted. These guys are meant to go off-road. These guys take a really good beating. And they just look cool. They're both black. I just think these 2 just look sick together. I mean, I get a lot of compliments when people see this. I mean, I've got the black CVT 10 as well, so I just think these 2 just look so great together. So I'm really happy with how they look and the build quality of both of these. So with the tonneau cover, when it's working, it's very, very good. It's really secure, and I feel really confident with it. But that kind of leads into one of my negatives. When I first bought it, it worked really good for about 3 weeks. I'm talking about the tonneau cover. It worked really good for about 3 or 4 weeks, but something happened, and it just got kind of loose. Like one day, I had it closed all the way, and I was able to push it about 4 inches back so people could see inside. That was really disappointing because it's kind of a hefty price tag. So I wasn't too happy that it kind of stopped being secure after a few weeks. But I brought it right back to the place I bought it, and they were able to fix it up. Maybe I tried to close it too hard and it may have come out of its tracks. That could have been one possibility, but I do wish that it would have continued to work slightly longer, but I brought it back, they fixed it. and now it's working just like the first day I got it. Another pro and con is the compatibility with these two. So it's great that this rack works with this cover. They work extremely well together, but the con is that this tonneau cover is the only tonneau cover that works with this rack, which is very unfortunate. So if you get the Overhaul and you need a tonneau cover, you're kind of at Retrax mercy. They're the only company that works with this rack, which is super frustrating. That was really obnoxious. And that kind of leads into another compatibility issue, is that in order to get this rack to work with this cover, you need to get another Yakima adapter, which was about, I think it took about 3 or 4 months on back order, which was ridiculous. So you need 3 parts to get this whole setup to work. Tonneau cover, Overhaul HD, and the Yakima, and the Yakima adapter, which was a hefty price tag, which is going to be my next con. So the price tag of this whole setup was not cheap. When I bought this Retrax, I bought it for about $1,700 to $1,800, which was very, very hefty. And then the Overhaul rack was $1,000, and the adapter was $100. And then on top of that, the cover, the tent, was about $3,000 after tax. So I'm in this pretty deep, but again, this is kind of my life. Like, I work out of my truck, I film, so I have to put things into this truck, and I need to be secure, I need to be waterproof, I need to be strong, and I love camping, so this is kind of like what I do with my time. So I spent a lot of money, but I see it as an investment because I love this truck so much, and I don't see myself getting another truck for a long time. The cover also isn't fully waterproof. I find that it kind of leaks in right on the edges in the front and can kind of run back, which is extremely annoying. It doesn't make me feel great with my kind of electric and lights in there, my electrical gear and my lights in there. That's really frustrating as well. I think for that price tag, they should have done a little better job waterproofing it. And the very front of the Retrax is a really terrible system to keep the water droplets dripping between the truck bed door and the end of the tonneau cover. It's this really terrible system, which I feel like it would have been much easier to make the end more waterproof. That's very disappointing. Another slightly disappointing thing is with this rack is that without the Yakima adapter, I believe it's got a 500-pound weight limit, which is pretty good. But when you put the adapter on this car, the weight limit goes down from 500 to, I believe it's 300, and that's according to Yakima's website, which is really unfortunate. I actually talked to a few other companies. I talked to the company that installed my cover, and they think that 300 is a little low. They don't think that it's that low. I think they're just being safe. So I've driven on some bumpy conditions, haven't had any problems, but again, just something to keep in mind. And the last two cons are you kind of have to be gentle with it. You can't be pushing it as hard as you can, like you with the truck bed door. You're slamming it. You can't slam this because it's on rollers, so it's definitely prone to pop out of place much more than just your average tonneau cover. And it's not easy to install on your own unless you're like a total truck nerd. I'm not. I cannot install these on my own. I had to hire some guys. They did a good job, so again, that's something else to keep in mind. But that is my review of the combination of the Yakima Overhaul HD rack and the Retrax Pro MX, I believe that's what it's called. I hope this helped you with your decision if you want to get this. I know it seems like there was a lot more cons than pros, but again, it's all about the end result. Does it keep your stuff safe? And that's really what it comes down to, and I think it does keep my things safe. And I really do think that this might be one of the best combinations for a weekend warrior, for a camper, for a truck camper, any sort of camper. Even if you don't have a rooftop tent, if you've got kayaks, I really think this is an amazing combination because I did a lot of research. I did a ton of research for a system like this, and I really couldn't find anything. And in the end, it is cheaper than getting a $10,000 or $12,000 slide-in truck camper for the bed of your truck. So if you have any questions, throw me a comment. I'll see if I can help. Hopefully I was thorough enough.